We're here in St Albans in Hertfordshire, just outside London. And I want to talk to you about this enormous cathedral behind me, which is the St Albans Cathedral. Is we're actually looking at two different architectural styles. So I want you to look up at the tower, the central tower up here. Okay, you can see brick. And that tower actually dates back to the Norman period when we're talking about Romanesque. Okay, so let's think about Romanesque, right? Romanesque means what? Like the Romans. So you can see rounded arches. Rounded arches, we think about Rome, right? The Colosseum. In the Middle Ages, earthquake damage actually required a large part of this cathedral to be rebuilt. So then you can see, as we start panning this way to the transept, to the nave here of the main cathedral, we're starting to see a different architectural style. Now look, okay, all of a sudden we have pointed arches, so that all these windows now come to a point. Up there in the tower, the Romanesque part, we had the windows are more rounded. That's Romanesque. But Gothic architecture in the 12 and 1300s have the windows come to a point. That was, of course, really common in the Gothic period because it allowed architectural cathedrals to be built higher and higher. And you can see even some buttresses. These aren't flying buttresses, but you can see some buttresses coming out here on the side as well. The tower, I mean, look at the difference between the tower here versus the tower up there. We have such a strong difference in architectural styles, and that's because of this earthquake. So you're looking at a cathedral that has two different styles of architecture, not because of a design philosophy, but because of an earthquake here, of all things. I want to show you another key element of Gothic architectural style, and that's the rose window. So here's the front entrance of the cathedral, and you can see not only the pointed arches here for the English Gothic style from the 12 and 1300s, but that rose window, so perfect for architecture of the Gothic era, that lets this beautiful stained light in, because that idea of letting light in was so important for the Gothic era as well. More of the Romanesque style, the rounded arches, the Roman columns. And here are even more enormous Roman arches for the central tower that we were looking at earlier, the brick tower from the outside. You can see the massive rounded arches. Absolutely amazing. Those columns at the top. Remember though that there was extensive earthquake damage, and so this Romanesque cathedral had, here we go, pointed Gothic elements that were added later. You can totally see the different, how this brickwork is clearly from a later period. Down here we've got these pointed arches from the Gothic era. We also have some other Gothic elements over here with the kind of ribbed groin vaults, right? What makes something a groin vault? Having 4 exits. 1, 2, and then down that way, and the way I came in, 4 exits for a ribbed groin vault. So the Gothic elements there. More ribbed vaults in the Gothic aspects of the cathedral. There's a Gothic rose window. You can see the light hitting it perfectly, allowing the light to come in underneath the Romanesque tower. I've never seen anything like this blend of two different design styles, all because of this earthquake. Maybe nowhere in the cathedral are these elements more on display than this section right here, as if an earthquake tore through and broke the cathedral in half at this very location. You've got those bricks from the Norman era French Romanesque style on the right, and that pointed Gothic English style on the left, about 200 years apart in style. Someone carved 666. Not a great thing to do in a holy cathedral, but what'd you say, Dan?
Someone's left their cup.
Oh, someone left their mug. All right, cousin Daniel, final words on the cathedral?
Good.
Oh, there you go, man, a few words. Site of Britain's first saint, St Alban. What do you make of him?
gets mad.
Cross-shaped architecture. All right.
The lights improve significantly.
Yeah. Cost £5,000, or about, what is that, about $6,300 a day to keep that cathedral open and running. £5,000 a day. All right, until we see each other again, St. Albans.